Hello team, what is up and welcome to Motosumo. My name's Ben Parsons, and I'm your instructor, I'm your guide. I'm going to be taking you through your beginner class here at Motosumo. Basically, a beginner class is like an all levels class. So if you've done loads of classes before, like a couple of people on my leaderboard right now, and you want to bring down that intensity a little bit, you want to sort of take it just a tiny bit easier, it's going to be more simple, you're going to have quite a longer rest. Or if it's one of your first times doing an indoor spinning class or a Motosumo class, then this is the perfect one for you because we really break it down. We take you through everything a little bit slower, and then once we've gone through some techniques, some explanations, some warm up, that's when we get into it, and we get to tick off a little bit of everything. So it's a bit of a taster session. It's kind of like a signature, but a bit easier. Basically, how's that sound? All good? Remember, we've got those emojis there if you want to use them at any time. I was about to use the wrong emoji. Let's use a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and hopefully throughout this class I'll be using a lot of that because you lot are going to be amazing. Lovely, we're going to get into things. A couple of things to mention. You're more than welcome to start moving those legs. But before we get into things, team, a couple things. Number one, sorry, I'm going to have to change the song. This song in this warm-up track really builds up, and it builds up to a drop. And I'm trying to explain things and it's like, so we don't need that. Number one, team, if you're doing that on-demand class, please get one of our live classes, have a check on our schedule, book into it, keep yourself accountable, and then make sure you're joining us, because if you jump on the leaderboard, you will not regret it. I promise you, you get so much more benefit from jumping in one of our live classes. The other thing to mention, team, if you're doing this in the gym right now, I'm on a big team display, then welcome, first off, and secondly, make sure you also download the Motosumo app so you can join in on our leaderboard. Last but not least, team, please make sure you at least try out, because we do have a 7-day free trial, our premium service. If you want to see those ads at the beginning and the end, it's for you, and there's loads of other features as well. All right, let's get on to things. Team, with those legs moving, we're gonna try to align us up, because remember, everyone's got different bodies. We're all over the world. I'm here in London. I've got a bunch of people in the States right now, so remember, everyone's all over the place, so we wanna make sure we're all on that same page, essentially. So what we do is we bring it down to resistance 0. So I want you to lose every tiny little drop of resistance on your bike, then just start your legs moving. You'll notice that with nothing on the bike there, it's a little bit too easy. So what we do is we add a tiny bit. That becomes your resistance 1. Now in that resistance 1, you should be able to feel a little bit of weight, a little bit of support there in those feet. Nice, feel that? I'm going to talk to you more about the resistance later on, but we do not go any lower than this sort of flat road, we like to call it. I'm going to put some tunes on. I'm going to talk to you more about things, but we're going to get into your warm-up as well. Let's do this in 3, in 2, in 1. A song called Finally Get Away from a group called Scuba Dive. And of course, Jen D is joining in on this bad boy. Me and Jen just did a 45 minutes stronger together, and now she's straight back in here. Rate that, respect that. Cool, remember team, this is your resistance 1. That little bit of support, that little bit of weight under your feet. So you can feel like you're having to push something around, but it's relatively light. You can move it a little bit easy. Every time we go up in resistance, we've got 4 main resistances, 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, just remember team, it's International Women's Day, so I just want to give a big shout out to all the women out there. I've been listening to all like Queens of Pop and everything today, and it's just really got me in the mood. So I just want to say, sorry I didn't mention it in the previous class, Jen, but genuinely the whole day has been big up. There you go, International Women's Day. Big shout out to celebrate women and everything about them. Anyway, let's crack on with it, team. As I was saying, you've got 4 main resistances. Resistance 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is that top one. Number 1 is that lowest one. So 1 is the easiest one, 4 is like the heaviest climb you could possibly imagine. We've got plenty of time. We're going to be spending a lot of time in your lower resistances today, but we will touch on your resistance 3 and 4. Your cadence, on the other hand, look at your bottom of your screen right now. Boom, right there you can see your cadence meter now. That changes colours and changes numbers. You see that semicircle, you see those numbers, they change. They change with your speed, so it's basically a live reading of how fast you're going. Pretty impressive, eh? So I can either shout out those numbers for you to hit, or I can shout out a sort of colour. For example, we're going to go for a little 1-minute push pace. It doesn't need to be a sprint, But I want everyone right now to try and push themselves up into those 90s, which also happens to be your yellow zone. Let's go for that. Let's have a little test out, team. We go for that. 1 minute on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So that is just your resistance 1, which should feel light. I'm going to keep reminding you of this, team, because we got some experienced people on the leaderboard, so you can treat this class however you like. If you want to pull back that intensity, all good. If you want to smash it out, I'm not going to stop you. Remember, this is a beginner class. I'm going to teach it like a beginner class, and we're going to have those long breaks as well, just so we know. If you want to smash it, please go for it. I'm just guiding you. I'm just giving you advice on where that resistance should be, where your numbers should be. 10 seconds, we get to pull it back. In 3, 2, 1. Pull it back. Okay. We're gonna go for that again. We're gonna go for 45 seconds. But before we do that, I want us to think about our technique. So bang, hands on, elbows tucked in, gentle bend in those arms. Your shoulders roll back. Back is nice and straight. And that is where we want to be. That's how we want to sit. With your back straight and again with your chest pushed through, which makes it easier to breathe. And surprise, surprise, breathing throughout this makes it a lot easier. People forget it. And it's good to sort of focus on it. Here you think about that core. So your core's engaged. It's not crunched, so we don't want that. We still want your chest up. And then we think about those knees. Then we think about those legs. So those knees are parallel. They're not shaking all over the place. Knees are parallel. And you're kicking out, pulling back, kicking out, pulling back. Working your way around just like this. Now that team is our right. That team is our form. No matter what class you're in, I always want you to lock into that. Now we're going to use that as we go into a 45-second effort. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good. Tommy, Mary, Jen. Cody. Yes, just like this. Rest there. Good, so now that form's in there, now that form's locked in. Hopefully it should be. I'm gonna give you another 15 seconds, then we're gonna go for a 30-second, even more push pace. So, less time, maybe a little bit faster, maybe even touching to try to get into those 100s. Let's see what happens. 4, 3, Motosumo, 2, 1, go! So we're pushing, we've lifted that intensity up now. You're joining me as we go for some real push paces. Let's go. Where's my emojis at? 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, it's resistance 1. And we've got a minute, 45, 30 seconds. I'm gonna completely throw the rule book out. We're gonna go for 2 minutes. We're gonna go straight into a bit of endurance in that resistance 1. We're gonna stay in that resistance 1 for a decent amount of time. Straight into 2 minutes endurance. Let's wait for this song to leave out. Now your challenge here, I know we went for that big push pace, but I want you to try to get close to that push pace, and I know it's for 2 minutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. New song, 2 minutes on the clock. Let's go. Love this. Love those numbers. Yes, Mary. Yes, Tommy. Jen, how we doing, team? Let's get this bad boy out. Such a tune this is. Not sure about the lyrics, but the beat, I love. The song's called A Moth to Your Flame. I know my accent is obviously different to the person, but it sounds like a mouth to your flame. And that would be painful. "15 seconds, let's go." I'm just a mouth to your flame. 3, 2, 1. There you go, you got me singing along now. All right, we're gonna head into some interval work. Lovely bit of resistance one work there, team. We're gonna head into some interval work. It's gonna be 30 seconds work, 30-second rest. We're gonna do our first one in resistance one, something that you're already used to, but we're gonna eke up those numbers again. Red zone is about 110 plus. If you want to try and hit that now, you're more than welcome to. It's beginner class, so somewhere 105 plus. In 3, in 2, in 1, 30 seconds, let's go. I'm just a mouth in your flame. I'm just a mouth in your flame. 3, 2, 1. I literally don't even realize I'm singing it as well. It's just like in my head to smash it out. 30-second break. Remember, that was just you easing into it. I love seeing all of those red zones on the board. Tommy, Mary, Jen, boom. 20-second break. Remember, it's a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio, so you can really afford to go for it. Let's get ourselves into resistance 2. First time in this high resistance. I know we spent a long time in resistance 1. You're welcome. We go again. Resistance 2, somewhere in those 90s. 30 second. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We got 3 intervals in resistance 2. Then we got 1 in resistance 3 to sort of introduce that heavier resistance. So we've done 1 in resistance 1, it is 3 in resistance 2, and 1 in resistance 3. Three, 2, 1. Bosh. There it is, 20 seconds. We go again. Resistance 2. Can you change those numbers a little bit? Between this first and the second one, nothing changed apart from you trying to up those numbers. You set the target for yourself. Let's be there. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Four, 3, 2, 1. Good. So the difference in this one, even though it's still going to be resistance 2, I want you to add just a tiny bit of resistance. Obviously, there are those block resistance changes, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can make little changes as well. So that's what we're going to try out. So I want you to just add that tiny little bit extra, and I want you to try to hold that same number on that RPM. We're going to take it up to resistance 3 after this. Final one in resistance 2. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice, it's still a 30-second rest, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it up to that resistance 3. So now we're starting to lift that energy, lift it up there. Yes, JJ, what's up? Good to see you. We find that resistance 3. Remember, it's got heavier. It's got harder. We're still gonna do that same thing. Probably aiming between 80 and about 95. This is heavier. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good. Yeah. 10 seconds. Huge numbers. Yes, JJ. Yes, Mary. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely stuff. We're getting working now. That's gonna mess up my hair. Oh well. So just like we did that endurance effort of 2 minutes, we got an endurance effort in this resistance 3. You just did a sprint in it. Now we're flipping the table and you're gonna be 2 minutes here. It's gonna be just below the number you were hitting before. I don't expect you to hit your sprint pace because it's 4 times the amount. Ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 minutes here. Kicking it in, Mary. I want you to add a little bit of resistance there. Jen, I want you to add a little bit. JJ, add a little bit of resistance there. Good, wonderful numbers on this leaderboard. But now we're working. Nice, that is halfway. Seconds. So good, so good. Oh, that's burn. There it is, there it is. There's the burn. 10 seconds. Three, 2, 1. Nice. 30-second break there. We're going to go back into a little bit of interval work. So we're going to do one end. It's going to be 30 seconds work, 30-second push again. It's a 1-to-1 work to rest ratio. This time we're going to do resistance 3 and then 2 in resistance 4. 15 seconds time. You're going to smash out a big resistance 3 sprint. Same as we did before, but now we're gonna go up in terms of that resistance. Ready? We go 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hey Jen, look at those lights. I got it. Yes, Tommy, yes, JJ, yes, Mary. There it is. What better time to use those? Okay, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. 30 seconds. Take it up to resistance 4 for me. 2 resistance 4 pushes. We haven't touched this resistance yet. First time into it. It is heavy. You shouldn't really be going higher than about 85 in resistance 4. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Move away. 3, 2, 1. Nice stuff. Works well with that music. 1 down, another 1 to go. Then we got a bit of endurance within this. Even though it's super heavy, you got to try and keep those legs moving and that sort of recovery push here. 15 seconds. 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's push. Yo, we're getting through this. I don't think I even mentioned, team, that purple zone means final 10 minutes. It happened a while ago, but I think I was too excited that the purple was happening that I didn't actually mention it. Well, you know it now. Doesn't really matter because the class finishes at the same time anyway. Just for your mindset, I guess. 3, 2, 1, rest there. Another 30-second rest. And then we got a 90-second effort. All in resistance 4. First minute is going to be sat down, so obviously your speed is going to be a little bit less than before. We're not going now, even though I pressed the red button. There we go. And then 30 seconds is going to be stood up. 10 seconds we go. A minute sat down, 30 seconds stood up. In 3, in 2, in 1, go. "15 seconds. We stand it up for a 30-second effort out of your saddle. If you don't want to stand up, it's a beginner class that's only optional. I'm going to be standing up in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Three, 2, 1. Breathe, drop it down. Find resistance 1 for me. Resistance 1. We ready to finish it off? You got 2 minutes. Sweet nectar every time. Starting with a resistance 1. Push, somewhere around the hundreds. Remember, all the way down there. We get ready to go. You got 1 final track as well. Let's see some emojis, team. How are we doing? I'm gonna show you how I'm feeling right now. Boom! We go 7, 6 as the new song kicks in. 5, 4, resistance 1, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. That's how Jen's feeling. I think that's how everyone should be feeling right now. especially after you finish the class as well. "15 seconds. We do the cruel but wonderful thing of going straight into a race. 5 seconds, you're gonna add on resistance. It's gonna get heavier to resistance 2, in 3, in 2, in 1. Let's go. Resistance 2. So this is heavier. And we are racing. "30 seconds. "20. "8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Everybody has their job, 9 to 5, and getting drained. They settle for
Amazing work.
second best. Scared
Yo, let's
to
breathe.
risk what the future might bring.
Woo.
What the future might bring.
As predicted, you lot are unbelievable. You should all feel like this. You should all have these. So good. Oh, big effort there. Big effort there all round. Let's gently roll those shoulders back. Bring the head up to one side. Bring around up to the other side. To the center. Take a final big deep breath in for me. In. Hold it. Stand up. Little wiggle out into that. Spin around. Do that same on the other side. Focusing on hamstrings for now. Wiggle out into it. Just find where it's good for you. Now you can push one heel down. Little reminder team that Train for Trees starts next week if you haven't heard already. Every calorie counts because every 5,000 calories we get as a team, all of next week, we plant one tree. So it's all about giving. So that means every calorie counts. So please join as many classes as you can next week because we want to plant some trees. We want to plant some goddamn trees. And you are going to help out with that. Thank you so much, team. That has been that. Transitioning lovely into the end of the class. My name is Ben. You guys are wicked. Make sure you find us on social media. Peace and love, team. I'll see you very soon.